Okay, so Paris has fallen, and no, that's not the name of another god-awful Gerard Butler movie. Basically, right now, France is in turmoil. France is burning with anger. All across the French capital, and also further afield, there are literally nationwide strikes and also mass demonstrations that have shut down everything like trains, they've blocked roads, they've essentially filled Paris with people that are pissed about spending cuts and budget decisions that their government has made. UK, take note. So this isn't a small protest, it's a broad backlash, and it's against the government that's trying to shrink public spending at the same time that families feel squeezed in their daily lives. And the reason that this matters so much to us in the UK, it's not just sympathy for another country, there are real practical spillovers. So let's get into a few of these right now. So the first one really to consider, where there's an impact like this, where there's an uprising, a revolution, whatever you want to call it, there's the immediate impact on trade and travel. So when protesters halt transport hubs, ferry crossings, logistics chains, supply, all of these things get bottlenecked and then choked. So the UK businesses that rely on just-in-time deliveries for things like food, like alcohol, and other things that are passing through France to get to us, because we do import quite a lot of our stuff apparently. We don't make anything here to export, but we do import most of the stuff that we rely on day to day, including our energy. All of these things, these pinches basically mean that suppliers feel the pinch. You've got delayed stock, you've got stressed out customers, stressed out suppliers, wholesalers that are struggling to stay afloat. Worst of all, you've got sudden price volatility on these goods because supply, if something is in short supply, then scarcity equals value. You can hike the price on it and charge whatever you want. Think about what people were charging during the pandemic 2020, around March, April of that year, just for toilet rolls. I mean, there were toilet rolls being sold on eBay at £10 a roll. It was absolutely mental. And it's very possible that that could happen again. So the second thing to consider is that you've got political contagion at play. When you've got large street protests, it does a couple of things for domestic politics. So it sharpens the rhetoric and basically it gives air to parties that literally trade in law and order messaging or anti-establishment anger, whichever way you want to look at it. And in short, politicians at home, politicians in the UK will almost certainly use that unrest overseas to their advantage to try and point score, and also to then bring in policies that we may not otherwise feel are necessary. I bring you digital ID cards, perfect example. So the fact that not much has been done about the UK's immigration crisis, and it is a crisis, this is kind of all playing into the fact that the government could do something, just as Trump did something. They're choosing not to. And it's all part of a bigger picture, in my opinion, so that they can justify the upsell of the digital ID, because that's the reason for bringing it in, because of, obviously, immigration. Even though I've had a national insurance number for 25 years that's inextricably attached to my identity, my birth certificate, my tax code, everything. Apparently, I still need further proof to prove I'm me. Go figure. But all of these things, they'll use the unrest to score points, and that changes the debates about things like policing, about things like immigration, public spending, everything else. So it could jeopardize things for us. Make no bones about it, it could jeopardize things over here as well. The spillover could be very real. When a neighbouring country with similar social pressures explodes into visible unrest, it basically forces British voters to to reckon with the fact that our domestic grievances, our rising living costs, our overstretched public sector, the fall of the NHS, it's not unique. It's not unique to us. It's happening everywhere. It is literally global. Pick a country. And then once you realize it's not unique, that then further raises the temperature of our own debates. So I think from this, we can probably expect louder street politics, more citizen journalists, more auditing, probably more people getting banged up for 30 months for saying hurty words against the government and the police. You're going to see more headline news, more stories about polarisation and about pressure on really any government to show that it's actually in control and that it gives a shit about the people it's in control of. The political fallout from this could be massive. So I think we need to be prepared and to really expect short-term disruptions in the UK to things like supply chain, things like importation of goods. We need to prepare for price blips for some of these imported goods, food and alcohol, and probably a tougher political atmosphere where nuance gets drowned by public outrage and so on. And this isn't a problem that France keeps to itself. So mark my words, this nudges really every country in Europe because they've all got issues that are very similar. It's just that if anybody knows how to do a revolution, it's the French. That and cheese. I think we can all agree on that one. But we can't pretend that we're immune. So what are your thoughts on this? Drop it in the comments, let me know. I'm really keen to find out what your views and opinions are on the current French riots. Do you think that it will just dissipate like smoke and that'll be it? Or do you think it will lead to grander and greater things across the rest of Europe? Are the French now starting something that may continue across other countries? The jury's out. YouTube's going to put another video there. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, that'd be massive, all that jazz, and there will be another one tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.